everyone, welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin Hippo. Today's Friday, December 27th. We are getting very close to the end of the year, and as we go into 2020, we're going to get into tax time, and this is the time when folks start thinking about filing their taxes and getting ready for that and making sure that all of your accounting has been done for 2019 and all of your books are up to date. One of the questions I get asked the most from our subscribers and our viewers is how do we file our taxes and how do we keep track of our books? How do we do our accounting? Well, I'm not exactly comfortable giving out tax advice because I am not a CPA nor am I a licensed tax accountant, and I can't tell you how to file your taxes. There are certain things that I can tell you or advise you to do to help you throughout the year to stay organized, to keep on top of your books and keep on track of your accounting. But by no means is anything I say coming from anyone who knows anything really about taxes. I've been filing my own taxes for years. I help Keith with his, and of course we have this business that we have to file our taxes on every year. But I have been shown by professionals. I have friends that are CPAs and tax filers. So that's like the first thing I want to mention. The one thing I always recommend everyone to do, and I almost think it's imperative, like more than a recommendation, this is something you should absolutely do for yourself when you first get started as an entrepreneur and you're running your own business. For the first year, absolutely the first year, and possibly the second and third years, but the first year is like the most important, you need to get your taxes done by a professional. You need to get the advice from a CPA or some other licensed tax person, and you need to have them help you with your taxes. I'm not talking about where you just pay someone at H&R Block at the mall to file them for you. You want to pay someone to sit down with you and show you what they're doing and show you how they're filing your taxes and give you any advice that you need and answer any questions that you may have. And do this for the first 1 to 3 years until you feel like you've got a good enough hold on it and you understand what's going on. You've seen your CPA or your tax person do it a couple of times. They've answered your questions. They've walked you through it. They've showed you the forms you need. They've showed you what your deductions are. And then you can go off and do it on your own. But I don't recommend anybody coming into this new to do this alone. I absolutely recommend sitting down with a professional and just have them file your taxes for you, but show you what they're doing and help you with your questions and stuff. The federal taxes are pretty much the same across the board, but the laws for state, local, county, it can be different for everyone. Now we've got sales tax involved on top of everything else with the online taxes, so they have become a little bit more complicated. So I can't be comfortable or feel comfortable giving out tax advice to anyone. I don't math. I can't math. I'm bad with numbers. I've admitted that 1,000 times. And that's why I use programs. That's why I use spreadsheets. And it's why it's important to get help in the beginning. But when you have those programs, I'm going to talk about that next, they do all the hard stuff for you, so you're not accidentally making a human error. So we use GoDaddy bookkeeping, like I mentioned, but there's other programs out there. There's QuickBooks and several others. I can't speak to any programs that I haven't personally used or tried. We've only ever had GoDaddy bookkeeping. We are 1,000% satisfied with it, and we absolutely love it. The reason we love it so much, though, is going to go away next year. eBay will be moving everyone over to their managed payments next year. When you were taking your payments from eBay through PayPal, which we still are, GoDaddy grabs those automatically. Like you can sync GoDaddy to eBay and it grabs all of your sales and your PayPal things automatically and puts them into your books for you. That's probably not going to be a thing with managed payments unless eBay decides to allow GoDaddy to merge with them within their managed payments. But outside of them doing that, I still think GoDaddy bookkeeping is a really good program. It's super easy to use. We literally paid for it, opened it up, and taught ourselves how to use it. We didn't go on Google searching. We didn't go watch any YouTube videos. We just kind of wandered around the app itself once we paid to have the bookkeeping. And it was so simple to use, almost self-explanatory, really. And we just figured out how to do things on our own. So I think it's really easy. It's also really affordable. But if GoDaddy's not your thing, there's other programs out there. If you can't afford a program right now, like let's say you're just getting started and you need all of your capital to reinvest in your business or buy more inventory, you can create your own spreadsheets to keep track of your costs and your sales and everything. But that's, number one, I think that's a little complicated unless you're really familiar with Excel spreadsheets. Because you got to remember to put everything in there, every kind of expense, the categories, is it a business expense? Is it a cost of goods? Is it mileage? You know what I mean? There's so many different things. And it just allows for human error to happen. But if you don't have any other choice, like if you super cannot afford a program, you can do a spreadsheet. But I absolutely think everyone should have a program that does their bookkeeping for them, where you're just entering figures and you're typing in numbers off of receipts and the names of the stores or wherever you purchase the items, or the platform where it's sold and what it's sold for. That's what those programs are for. They're meant to make things really easy for you so that you're just typing in figures that are already in front of you and doing all the other work for you. The second thing I can recommend is keep track of all of your purchases, guys. Keep all your receipts. Keep track of your mileage and keep track of anywhere you're purchasing inventory. Keep track of the cost of goods for inventory anywhere you're purchasing it that you don't get a receipt. That means yard sales, church sales, estate sales, anywhere that you go where you can purchase items that you plan on reselling that's not a store or somewhere that's going to give you a printed out receipt, you can still claim that as a cost of goods on your taxes. So there's no reason why you should be spending $100 a week at yard sales and estate sales and not claiming that. But you don't get receipts from those places. So what do? You get one of these. These are at Walmart, they're at Dollar Tree, they're at Dollar Store. We actually found a huge pack in the bins a couple years ago, like a really giant pack of like 50 of these pads. We found at the bins, so we're set for life. But they're Walgreens. I mean, they're everywhere. I put a link in our Facebook group today where you can get a pack of these for like $6 on Amazon. They're really super cheap. And you can keep one if you're a lady. You can keep one in your purse. Or you can keep one in the glove box of your car, just so you always have it with you. And then when you go purchase items anywhere that doesn't print out a receipt for you, you just fill it out. And these are acceptable for, if you ever got audited, these are acceptable for receipts. So you would put the date, and it doesn't have to be too detailed. You don't have to put 1234 South Clark Street. You could just put community yard sale near Clark Street, how much you spent and how much you bought. Or, you can get as detailed as you want. There are some people who do put the exact address and write down every item they bought with how much they paid. Keith and I will literally just write community yard sale, 50 items, $100 spent. But that's what these are for. So, or if you do like local sales, if you ever buy anything locally to resale, or you sell anything locally, use these books and use these as your receipts the same way you would use a receipt from the Goodwill or from Salvation Army or Savers or anything like that. So keep all your receipts, make receipts when you don't get them, excuse the sirens, and keep track of your mileage. And don't forget that everything you purchase for your business is a write-off. I think that a lot of people that are new to this or just getting started don't realize how many things you can write off. It's not just the inventory you're purchasing for resale. If you buy a thermal printer, if you buy rolls of paper for the printer, If you buy a new printer, paper, ink, paper clips, if you buy a package of these receipt books, if you buy a pack of pens to write in these receipt books, if you're more than 50, double check me, but I think it's 50 miles from your home and you need to get accommodations or food, that's a write-off, all of your mileage. Basically anything that you buy that is necessary for you to run your business. If you buy a new laptop that is just for your business, you can't buy a laptop for fun and claim it. But if you buy a laptop or an iPad or something just that you're going to use to list or share your items on Poshmark or eBay, if you get a new camera or a new phone for the camera, anything like that, just keep in mind that anything that you buy, bubble wrap, shipping supplies, tape, scissors, anything business cards, thank you cards, any of that, awesome cleaner, Downy wrinkle releaser. If you buy a jug of laundry detergent and you only use it for the clothes you're thrifting, you can write that off. Just make sure you keep it separate from your personal laundry detergent. It has to be specifically for business. So when you go to the store, grab 2 jugs, use one for personal, one for business, and this one can be written off. But just keep that in mind that it's not just what you're purchasing for the intent of resale. Anything you purchase for your business that is there to help you run your business, any of the aspects of it, from cleaning and washing the clothes all the way to packaging it up to ship it out. That's all things that you can write off. So keep all of those receipts as well. The thing I love most about GoDaddy is that it does categorize all of these purchases. So when we go in and enter our receipts, we have categories: cost of goods, business supplies, they have like office supplies, they have mileage. It's all broken down really nice and neat. Again, I don't know, I'm pretty sure QuickBooks is very similar and has stuff like that. I've never seen QuickBooks, I've never used it, so I can't speak to it. But I'm pretty sure that all of the programs would be very similar in that they would categorize all of these different types of purchases, because that's important for the IRS later on when you file your taxes. The other thing I really do want to give a shout out to GoDaddy for, they have an app that you can download on your phone that you can put your mileage in while you're on the go. So you don't have to write it down in a notebook or try to keep track of it in your head or take pictures of your odometer or any of that crazy stuff. You can literally get in your car in the front of your house, log into GoDaddy and put your mileage in, and then track your trip and then put the mileage in at the end. And then that app automatically uploads that information to the GoDaddy bookkeeping, so the next time you log in on your computer, it's already there for you. And that's another thing I wanted to mention that a lot of people who are new to this don't understand that they can claim. If you're driving to the Goodwills, if you're driving to the flea market, if you're driving around yard selling, that's all mileage you can keep track of to use as a write-off. Basically, anytime you drive anywhere with the intent of doing anything for your business, keep track of those miles. That's important. You've also got to keep track of all of your sales. So you've got to make sure that you're inputting into the program that you're using all of your sales across all platforms, local, all of that. You got to keep track of it. Most of the platforms have a place that you can go and you can look at all of your sales for the entire year, and you can grab that. I know Poshmark has it, I know eBay has it, but you can just go in and say, I want to look at all of my sales from January 1st to December 31st of 2019, and you can get them all right there. You should have been entering them all year, you should have been on top of this all year and staying organized, but they do have places where you can get that. PayPal has a 1099 that you can print out that keeps track of stuff for you. Again, these are all things that you're going to talk about with your CPA or your tax person. They're going to help you with all of these things that I've told you that you need to keep track of. They're going to help you with that when it comes time to file your taxes. You're doing this to make their job easier and to make it a little bit more streamlined and a lot easier at the end of the year when you go to file. If you had a program that kept track of everything and categorized it, if you've been entering all of your receipts and your sales diligently all year and your books are organized, you just take all of that to your person, whether it's a CPA or just a licensed tax filer, and they'll help you out with everything. The other thing I'd like to point out about getting a CPA or a tax person that's really great, Not only is it, I think it's imperative that you have one for the first couple of years, showing you the ropes and how to do stuff, but they also know the laws. They're familiar with tax law. They are aware of any and all deductions that you can take. So as a layperson, there may be deductions that you're not aware of that you can get, and there may be deductions that you think you can get, but you can't, and you don't want to make that mistake. You don't want to make this mistake of not deducting everything you can, because that helps you out in the end to pay less taxes, but you don't want to try to be deducting things that you can't, because then you're running the risk of getting an audit. And these licensed tax folks, they know all those laws, they know all the deductions, and they can do all your taxes for you at once. They can do your federal, your state, your local, your county, all that good stuff. And the best part is if you hire someone else and pay them, a licensed person, to do your taxes, and something's wrong with them or you get audited, they take responsibility for that, and they will help you with that if that situation were to arise, instead of you being stressed out and having to deal with the IRS. So, oh, I just saw another little note I wrote myself. Another thing you need to keep track of that is a write-off, again, back to that topic, just for the new people who may not know. All of your fees that you pay eBay, your store subscription, if you pay a fee to GoDaddy, bookkeeping, or QuickBooks, if you pay a fee to run ads on Facebook, if you pay PayPal fees, if you pay Poshmark fees, anywhere that you pay fees or any kind of subscriptions or payments, those are all things that you can write off for your business as well. So keep track of all of that stuff. Don't be star and wait till the end of the year every year. I know I've mentioned that to you guys before. Somebody could literally hand me a button, a red button on a little board, and say, if you push this, all of your accounting, your books will be completely up to date. And I would set that sucker aside, and I'd be like, all right, I'll push it in December. It's fine. This is just one of the things that I'm really bad about procrastinating. So don't be me. Make sure you get your books in order and get your stuff together for 2019. Get some help filing in 2020. And next week, on January 1st, just be determined to turn over a new leaf, be more organized, and get your stuff together, and stay on top of it all year. If you can sit down once a week for 10, 15 minutes and enter all of the stuff into your program or your spreadsheet that you're using, you're going to be golden come December next year. You're going to be ready to go file. So just keep on top of that stuff, and don't forget all of the places that you can all of the places and the things that you can get the write-offs for. And these are really important too, because if you don't keep track of where you went and spent your money over the summer, come January, how do you know what your cost of goods was from the yard sales? So these are really important, guys. All right, let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, hit that thumbs up. It really helps the channel, guys. If you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin' Hippos on all social media. Join our Facebook group, the Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. Link to join is down in the description box below. If you're not a member of the group, we are currently running a giveaway to give away a free copy of our Plush guide that we just dropped yesterday. So join the group and enter for your chance to win a free copy. And you can always email me at flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com. Until next time, guys, go be productive, go make some money. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.